Hi everyone, welcome to Bonsai Expression. I'm Christoph. So today we're going to be revisiting this European Hornbeam. Now, if you actually take a look back at the start of my channel, this was one of the first trees I worked on. I bought it from one of the local garden centres. It was a tall tree and we did a chop on it, as you can see right here. And then I decided it would be a great idea to put it in a pond basket, but stupidly I put it in a small one because when I was looking on YouTube, pond baskets are all the rage. It's one of the new things to do because yes, they are a great idea, but no, putting it in a small one is not a good idea because it doesn't develop the tree, and as you can see, it's still the same sort of size as when I did the original video 2 years ago. So all that hard work for pretty much no show. I mean, the branches are doing well. We've got branch structure, but do we have any other development other than that? My friends, the answer is no. Why is that? Too small of a pot. And that is a common mistake a lot of people make when they're doing bonsai. We all put them in bonsai pots too small, too quickly when we want development. So hopefully roots are going to be alright, but the trunk itself hasn't really done much, and in terms of branch structure and branch thickness, we haven't done much in 2 years. So what I have done, because of my mistake, is slow the tree down. So today I'm going to go from this tiny little pot and I'm going to go to a huge pot. That is a massive difference. So it literally looks like a stick in a great big pot, and all them 2 years I've lost, I'm going to gain in a year. So the idea today is we're going to get it out this soil, we're going to look at the roots, just repot it into something larger, and where I have done the trunk chop up here, I'm just going to clean that up, and the new leader up top where we cut as well, we're going to clean that up, and we're just going to give this a little bit of wire, get it in the right shape, and we're just going to look and see where we're developing and see how the tree's getting on. Because if I take a step back, you can see we've got some nice branches where we actually decided what we want. We're just going to revisit it and see where we're going, because overall the tree's pretty nice. It's coming along. I just slowed it right down in terms of getting the thickness and the growth, but we'll get on the bench and we'll have a look at the roots and we'll finally get it in a decent sized pot. Let's get into this one. Now before we dig into the roots, I just want to give you a proper look at the tree and just show you what a small pot restricts. I would say go back and look at the old video if you really want to see how bad that one is. Yeah, you're more than welcome to. As I say, I was getting started, and you'll see just how bad my videos were in comparison to where we're at to now. So here we go. The tree, as you can see, is looking quite nice. We've got plenty of branches. I'll give you a spin as we're doing this. So let's move from the bottom. So we've got a nice new shoot just starting here. Now we've got a branch. It does start to split off. Another branch here. Again, all the branches are starting to split off. So we have got a little bit of taper. The tree leans. As we move up, we've got a fair few branches. And we've got that chop just here. If I move you in. Ooh, not too close because obviously it's not going to focus. But I'm just going to try and neaten that up. And then where we cut the top here as well, I'm just going to neaten that up. And then I would like to just get a bit of wire on that. Bring this up so the leader is in the correct spot. Just like that. So that's all I'd like to do today. And then possibly just bring this branch, maybe a couple of the ones towards the top of the tree, just in a little bit, so that the ones actually down low are further out, and then we can make it a conical shape into the tree. So obviously this tree is going to be more of a formal upright. It's pretty straight. There is a little bit of movement in the tree, but not very much. And on the last when I did put this video out, the very first one, I had a lot of people say, oh, there's not much movement in the tree, blah blah blah. Yeah, I get that, and That's what I wanted. I wanted a nice formal upright tree with not much movement. It is what it is. I didn't want a load of bends, and I've got lots of trees with bends. I want something more traditional, just a nice example of a tree that you see in nature. And this is what it's going to be. Everything is popping out. It is a little bit, as you can see, I'm late to the game, but there you go. I am a little bit late to the game, a couple of days maybe, but I am well within tolerance to get this done. And I don't really see myself taking an awful lot of roots off, just enough to get it in the nice new pot, a larger pot. The leaves are out more than I'd like down towards the bottom, but as you can see towards the top, some of the buds haven't pushed yet. Right, let's get into it. I'm going to pull back out now, and then we'll start on the root work. As this tree I've worked on previously, it shouldn't have too much of an issue coming out, but you never know. So I'm just going to give it a gentle squeezing around the edges, just to try and loosen up. And let's see if it'll come out without messing about. Nope, so let's get this, and let's just give it a gentle tease around the outside, see if we can persuade it. So this will just go down, and it'll just persuade any roots around the edges just to let go of the pot. Try not to damage the pot, because I'd like to reuse this one if possible. Okay, this is not going to be easy. Yeah, this is going to be a stubborn one. Okay, we might end up having to cut the pot. Goodbye, Mr. Pot. All the roots on the bottom are holding it in nice and tight. There we go. Well, unfortunately, it's one pot I've not saved. Well, the roots are not too bad. And in fact, if I get you in, you can see I've got a couple of white roots just at the tips. So, I might have just timed this right, even though we've got the buds have actually pushed and we've got a few leaves. We've only got a few tips of white on the roots. So, we might have timed this just in time for the roots to be trimmed and repotted. So there's not too much activation going on, which is great timing. So let's get this root system raked out. And by the looks of it, we've got loads of nice little fine feeder roots. And with all these fine feeder roots, it looks as though this pot has actually done its job and providing us with the root system that we'd like. So it goes to show that these pots do what they want, do what they're supposed to do even, not do what they want. So they work, but I could have done with a bigger pot. Now, because I've used bonsai soil in this in the past, and it's not like all my recent repots where I've just let them grow in soil since purchase, this should be, theoretically, a lot easier to work on. All the soil's coming out a hell of a lot easier than the soil has. Look how fluffy these roots are. It's like I'm working on someone's hair. And like always, working from the trunk outwards, nice and radial. So I've got some roots here that have gone down, as you can see, they've gone down straight to the bottom of the pot, and then they've just hit the bottom of the pot and gone round. So straight away, I'm just going to snip that just there. As you can see it. So I don't need those roots, and it's the same on that one. I'm going to remove those straight away. And if I see any others like that, I'm just going to take them out. Makes it easier to work on. Don't have to go around messing about later on. Those roots are very fluffy. I think we've got most of the soil out. So I've raked most of it out already, and you can see how fluffy the roots are. I've got this one that's pretty high up. I've not even got round to having a look of anything, but I'm pretty sure that's too high up already, so I'm just going to take it off. I can see that most of my root plane is down here, so that's coming off. And if I just flick underneath, just going to start taking these out to flat bottom it. At least from what I can see anyway, it needs doing. So I'm just going to do that for now. And now I'm just going to give it a wash, and we'll see where we're at. Actually, just before I do that, I've got one here as well, just a bit high up here. I'm just going to take that off. Everything else seems to be low down. I've got this one coming out. It's probably going to go, but first thing, as I say, I'm just going to wash it just to make sure I can see what I'm working with. As you can see, I don't want to take anything else off unless I'm definitely sure it's in the right place. So let's go and wash it out, and you can see better inside now. So let's get properly into the center of the tree. There we go. Let's flatten it. There we go, it's the bottom all nice and flat. And then if I move up, this one I was on about before, I'm definitely going to remove that, so let's take that off. That's now gone. That gives us a big mound of roots all the way around. But my root plane should be lower down, so these top ones, I need a pair of scissors for this really. I'm pretty sure in the first video that I did, pretty sure I went really hard on these roots. Like really, really hard, to the fact where the tree, I'm pretty much sure I put the tree at risk, if I'm honest. I need to pull that one out. I've got a little bit left there, I've got to get out. Let's try and clean that up as much as I can. As you can see, this one here, this has got to come off as well. Oh, I got my jumper caught on the tripod. So, just on the top here, I need to try and clean off as well. This, now if I move this root here, do I have anything underneath it? Or do I want to be keeping it? I need to have a look underneath in just a second. This root here. I think what I'll do is I'll change the camera angle and put you down proper so I can see. So this whole section here, I don't know if that is actually my root plane or if I've got actual roots underneath. So I need to lift all this up without damaging them. And actually, so I'm pretty sure I've got roots underneath. So I've still got all my soil stuck in here. So I've got all these roots coming from, now is this underneath or is this actual where I've got desired roots? So I don't want to be taking off roots I want. So let's look in there. What I'm saying is I don't think, well I think I've got two root planes. It looks like I've got a lower root plane and a higher root plane. So I'm just bending these ones back to see and make sure that this lower root plane is actually the one I want to keep. And it's not coming from underneath the tree, but actually the one I want. So can I snip them off and develop the ones underneath is what I'm asking. Or do I leave them and allow them to develop over the bottom ones? Well, first things first, let's move you in proper. I'm going to remove this one because it's crossing over. So if I just come in, I can't get it with them scissors. It's going to have to be gentle. There we go. I'm just going to take this one back. Allow the smaller ones to grow. I'm just going to take them out and trust that these are all growing up from the correct spot. They seem to be growing from the right spot. Let's take all these ones off. Take that out. I need to thin this area out, which is far too fuzzy. That was too high up. Move this round. All this is growing upwards, so it's got to come off. This one is going round and it's coming up from the wrong direction. It's got to go. Let's take that back there. That comes off. All this is growing upwards. This chunk here, it's got to come out, and this bit. If I can get into it to actually snip it, that'd be great. I've got a branch curling round here. A branch, a root. So we need to remove this one. It starts off just here. Take that off. This gives us a nice flat radial root base now to start with. So the spread's a little bit larger than my palm of my hand. Okay, let's start putting it in this nice big pot. There we go. Now it's going to start filling it up. That looks a hell of a lot better in a nice big pot. So we're just going to give that a nice water in, and then I'll just put a couple of rocks or a couple of pots on it just to keep it fully stable. So let's water it in, and then we'll give you a nice little spin. Put a couple of small bonsai pots just to hold her in, make sure she's completely sturdy. Yeah, this is her. Give you a little spin. So just gonna go over, just gonna nip off some of these buds. That's not needed. Just this one here, and under here as well. This one's growing in the wrong direction, I don't want. Also this one here. So the idea is just to neaten her up. Nothing too major. Just bring her into shape, ready for the growing season to commence. So this one here, as you can see, I've got two to pick from. Now I'm going to grow this one that's growing down, make it look like it's a heavier branch. So I'm just going to go in, take that top one out, and I've got a slight bud next to it. I'm just going to nip the end off. This is growing out and then around. So I'm just going to come back, take that off. It's also growing out in this direction as well. I'm going to come back and remove it. In fact, I'm just going to come back and nip it here, I think, just for the time being. This bottom branch, it grows outwards, and then it also grows here, but then it starts going around. So I'm just going to take it there so it comes out, and then I can develop it this way as well. Bottom branch grows out, I've got a shoot that goes out, comes back on itself. So I'm just going to nip it here. Just going to take this one back to a bud just here. This one grows upwards. For now, just going to pop it there. Not even sure I want it growing upwards, but I can always bend it down. This branch, as you can see, it grows way too long, so I'm just going to pull it back in. And I think I'm just going to pull it to just so there. And the same with this branch out here. Just going to bring it in a little bit, and I'm going to bring it to here. Just on the back I've got a bud. Got a bud here, just going to get rid of. That grows upwards, don't want it. Dead branch there. Got a bud on the inside I'm going to take out. I'm going to pull this back. Bring that back. Bring that back as well. This one grows upwards. I don't want it at all. I'm going to take out. Take that off. Nip this one back. In fact, this one's too long still. I'm just going to take it back a little bit more. Same for this one. Actually, no. I'm just going to nip it back to that bud. Moving up top. Just need to clean this section out a little bit. I don't want them buds underneath it either. And I think instead of just we just need to wire that up. All trimmed up, ready to go for growing season now. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this one recovers. So I've put a bit of paste on. Wow, what I could put on anyway. I should have put it on prior to actually putting the wires on. Not done a very good job, have I? I'll take my gloves off in a minute and try and smear it in as best as I can. I can do a better job than that. I'll get my gloves off in a second, I'll do a better job. And then up top we've done a better job than that, because obviously it's an open wound and the wiring's a lot better up top. So that should heal proper. All trimmed up, ready to go for growing season now. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this one recovers. So I've put a bit of paste on. Wow, what I could put on anyway. I should have put it on prior to actually putting the wires on. Not done a very good job, have I? I'll take my gloves off in a minute and try and smear it in as best as I can. I can do a better job than that. I'll get my gloves off in a second, I'll do a better job. And then up top we've done a better job than that, because obviously it's an open wound and the wiring's a lot better up top. So that should heal proper. And then we've got the apex up top here. So this is set now, ready. The whole tree looks a hell of a lot better. So if we look out, and then we've got the pots just securing it, just in case we get any harsh weather. But as I say, it's going to be protected anyway, as all my trees are. So there we go. Moving. I have to keep moving in and out to try and give it a bit of a spin. Unfortunately, money's not infinite around my area, and I don't have one of these awesome magical spinny tables that does it all by itself. You know, unfortunately I don't live the dream. But yeah, it's ready to come along for growing season. And then them 2 years in that tiny little pot, my mistake. I'm going to rectify that with some good growing this year. Whew! The sun's come back out. It's warm again. Jumper's going to have to come off soon. Anyway, let's get back to it. European Hornbeam, it's all done, repotted. Roots sorted out. They've been taken back. They've been trimmed up lovely. They're ready to go for another couple of years in that big pot. Unfortunately, me being silly, put it in a stupidly little pot, so it restricted the growth. Now it's in a nice big pot. It's there. The roots are going to expand. It's going to get lots and lots of nice growth this year, and it should put on a nice big healthy amount of growth, and it'll thicken up quite quickly now. I probably don't have to repot that now for maybe 2 or 3 years. Well, at least 3, realistically. But I probably will come back to it in 2 years. I keep squinting, the sun's really hot. And I've got a white background there, as everybody knows. So the sun's shining back into my eyes. I can't see. Oh. Anyways. Yes. It's had a nice little trim. So as that starts pushing out, I'll come back to it and I'll do a follow-up video. And yeah, we'll see where it's up to. But for now, it looks quite good. Let me know if you do want to go back to the old video, and yeah, I recommend checking it out. It is bad quality. Um, yeah, as I say, I was just starting out on YouTube, and as a couple of them videos went out, I stopped. I had a few trees stolen. Well, I had a lot of my trees stolen. It's probably why they're not back on the channel. Um, and then I came back to YouTube a few months later. Actually, it's probably about a year later. So the quality is vastly improved since then. But if you want to go check that video out, it is still up, and you can see where the tree has come from. I'm pretty sure I went absolute ham on them roots originally, and I'm pretty sure in fact, I am sure I did. I'm surprised the tree is really alive, to be honest, but it's doing really well. It's there, we can see now, it's pushing out, it's strong, and I'm quite confident the tree is going to be around for some time, and I will do regular updates on this tree, and we will develop it. Me and you, as a team, will develop it. So, that's it for another video. I will see you in the next one, and please don't forget to subscribe, like, leave me a comment on today's... Actually, leave me a comment after you watch the old video, and then come back to this one, and let me know. Do you think? Any good? That video's pretty poo, wasn't it? Well, I'll see you next one. I'm going to stop rambling, and we're going to crack on with some more, because just look at this sun. What tree shall I get on with? I don't know, but I'm going to get on with another one. I'll see you next one. Bye everyone. Thanks for watching.